Lovely jubbly. Right, so a lot has unravelled within the community over the past 24 hours, and one of which is the how do we say the complete and utter unravelling of Forward UK, and the other is the reunification of the British Empire, which I wasn't really expecting. But
Yeah.
we're first of all gonna start on the whole Persian thing. So yesterday, the Undersecretary for Foreign Affairs released a statement saying that Persian had been interfering with UN votes and etc. What stuff like that, messing with Britain's foreign affairs. And and he also announced that we were leaving the Simcoe Treaty as a result. So, what do you have to say about all of this, corruption that's been unveiled?
Yeah, so the main point here that I think needs to be made is we've heard a lot of the story from the government's point of view, but we have not heard too much from Persian and his side of the story. So before the pirates actually make like a determination or a statement bashing forward, we obviously want his side of the story. I mean, it's only fair and just that we have both sides of the story before we make a determination on it. The evidence is pretty damning against Forward. In full truth and honesty, what we've seen in the past 24 hours, I believe, is like the David to their Goliath. Uh, just their unstoppable war machine has just plowed into an immovable object, and I think that that's going to be very detrimental to their cause. They're losing a lot of confidence of the British people if they even had it in the before, and just the revelations that have come to light in the past day. Shout out to Mark Fremwell, by the way, hero Mark Fremwell, for actually whistleblowing on this. We love whistleblowers. I said this many times before. I'll say it again. We love whistleblowers. They sacrifice themselves to do what's right, and that is commendable. So Mark Fremwell, shout out to you, buddy. You're a goat. But the revelations that have come to light have truthfully, I believe, put the final nail in the coffin for Forward UK. Persian, obviously, I want to wait for his statement before I make an official statement on behalf of the Pirate Party. But with what we've seen so far, it does not look very optimistic. I believe the boot camp in the Forward UK party is probably looking pretty gloomy and grim right now.
When you say you want to wait for Persian's side of the story, I agree with you on that. But we are talking about Persian, and he has been done for multiple voter importations, whatever, all these scandals in the time he's been in the community. And as we know, this all came out last night. And you'd think if Persian had evidence to support his case, he would have released it by now, because it's nearly 24 hours since it was, released to us.
Persian and I go back a decent amount of time. We've been friends for a decent while, and we've worked together on a lot of projects. The thing that I've noticed about Persian is that he himself would prefer to take a lot of time to build up a document addressing every accusation against him rather than taking it one by one. The biggest thing with him that I've noticed is rather than waste the time trying to disprove claim after claim after claim, he would actually prefer to compile it all together and address every accusation at once. I'm sure that he's been working triple overtime over in his boot camp trying to address all of the accusations that have come out against him, because there's quite a lot that have obviously come to light in the past 24 hours since our last interview. But I, knowing Persian on a personal level, I know that he's probably working pretty hard right now to try and collect evidence and provide his point against everything that's come to light. And I believe that he will compile it all into one giant document. In reality, it's kind of a black hole if you do address one by one, because you'll get looped into arguing your case on one single point rather than having the time to, I guess, address all of the different points. So when you're, facing 10 accusations and you address 10 accusations at once, then when people critique you on it, they pick it out from those 10 points. When you go one by one, then while you're still trying to disprove another point, they're still talking about the previous point, and it just creates a huge black hole. So honestly, I get why he's taking a decent amount of time. I'm not really against that too much. Obviously, if he takes like a week or two, that it'll be pretty hard to defend him then. But I mean, he has had 24 hours. Give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't find out until like a couple hours after, because who knows if he was on? He could have been busy. I still think he has some leeway there in regards to time.
Okay then. And regarding this whole scandal, about 10 minutes ago on the Forward UK chat in the United Kingdom Discord server, um ZC Investor released a mugshot of Persian saying, government interference, never surrender. And it's Persian standing there being Persian, um, in a police station by the looks of it. So, how do you feel about this this mugshot?
Well, there's a couple things that I could pull from this. First off, they're in the Metropolitan Police Service Custody Center, meaning that in this photo they have quite literally broken into the police station to take this photo. Uh, that's one thing I've noticed. Second, they are attempting to replicate the Donald John Trump mugshot from when he was indicted on 34 felony accounts. Obviously, you may have your opinion on Donald Trump. You might believe he's guilty or not guilty, but I do find it sort of cringe that he's attempting to associate himself with Donald Trump when Donald Trump is very anti-immigration and Persian is very pro-immigration, considering about 80% of his party is made up of immigrants from foreign countries. Obviously, I think that's a little contradictory to the whole platform that Trump ran off of, who he, is role modeling in that mugshot photo, attempting to completely copy, if we're being completely honest here. I just think that's another thing worth pointing out. Donald Trump's pretty anti-immigration, but Persian, he is not afraid to back down from letting in like a couple hundred imports into his party to vote for him in this upcoming election. Just very interesting. I will not take this as a admission of guilt, however. Innocent until proven guilty, right?
Yes. Um, but to be quite honest, I was pretty shocked that Persian would go to this sort of lengths, and I'm quite glad he did get called out for it. But I'm going to be quite frank with you. I think in the future, the Electoral Commission may, in a way, blacklist Forward UK. Because although they've got 217 members, as said, they lost about 5 in the past hour. Although they have over 200 members, because of this scandal, they could end up losing a lot. And not only that, if scandals keep rolling out, I get the feeling that the Electoral Commission will blacklist them. If I'm being quite frank, do you think the Electoral Commission will do that, or?
I think it's a gray area. The Electoral Commission, obviously, this is a tough ruling for them to make. I mean, you would be deregistering and blacklisting a party that 220 people, whether they're imports or legit, you'd be blacklisting 220 people's party, and in my mind, that sets a dangerous precedent. So I don't believe that they would deregister or blacklist the Forward Party. Um, I would say that they would likely take action against the leadership of the party for any actions, but I don't think that the party itself would see any sort of downfall, just because that's a dangerous precedent to set. In the Electoral Commission does have full authority over our elections, but at the same time, they want to maintain that stability. And obviously, displacing 220 people from their party off the actions of the few at the top would be rather unfair in my mind to those people that represent that party. And I just think that that makes it a pretty gray area that the Electoral Commission, who already have a lot on their hands, probably don't want to deal with. And in truth, and if I were them, I wouldn't either, because I have a good feeling that they've been spending a lot of time on Discord and Roblox recently, which is obviously not what anybody wants to do with their life.
Yeah, fair dues on that. But also, Persian was recently named a national security threat, and when we did our interview with the Prime Minister this afternoon or this evening, he stated that he approved of the decision for that. But it entails Persian not being allowed to have a seat in Parliament, and that basically means he might not become Prime Minister. I don't know, but yeah, actually, no. Now I think about it, maybe he could become Prime Minister if he does remain leader. But to me, I don't really see a point in staying as leader if you can't even represent your party as an elected MP. So, what do you think they make the right decision to, you know, call Persian and his little fiend who helped him along a national security threat?
Based off the evidence we've seen so far, absolutely. We fully, wholeheartedly support the decision that the government has made in regards to that. as I said before, we want both sides of the story before we actually make a determination on the full scale of things. But if things were to continue as they have currently, in which Persian is a blacklisted individual, banned, national security threat, whatever, I do not believe that he should remain as party leader. No, I believe that that's contradictory to the point of serving as a party leader. You're elected as a leader to represent the people that are voting for you. This is a democracy, and if you are labeled a national security threat, not only does that completely deface your party as a legitimate and honest party that's working for the interest of the British people, but it also kind of defaces the value of that leadership position in general, because you have a national security threat who can't sit in parliament in the position that he was elected to do because of his actions outside of parliament. And he's attempting to run and represent this country as the highest minister, as the prime minister. And in general, I just believe that that's very dangerous, and I do not think the Electoral Commission would allow that. I hope the courts don't allow that. I think the legislation that is obviously against that in general, that basically states that you can't serve in any high positions as a national security threat, I think it's completely valid and necessary in order to protect our interests as a country. He's committed a lot of actions that, as of right now, are pretty damning, and he has no business whatsoever serving not only in the House of Parliament, but as our Prime Minister. It'd be completely disgraceful to the United Kingdom to let someone with so much effort in going against the grain, going against the United Kingdom, to be the one person that serves as our leader and represents us. That's just a very dangerous precedent. So yes, we support the government in regards to this. They acted solely off good information and evidence that we have now seen, which has been revealed. And I believe that their decision to actually name him as a national security threat was completely valid. And I believe that he should not serve as Ford's leader anymore if this were to be upheld.
Okay, because I was campaigning with the Social Democrats today, and of course there were Forward UK campaigners there as well, and there were these new people in the server, and they were saying, "Oh, join Forward UK. We're the party and whatnot." They're basically uplifting the reputation. But of course hello there.
Hello.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, yeah, I just had a person with a sword behind me. But anyway,
It's
yeah.
it's Forward's number one voter. They have a long history of crime, and they're attempting to live up to the British way of shagging people with a
Uh,
shank.
it's such a disgrace. Anyway, he pretty much is not setting a very good example, really, because in reality, it's just he shouldn't be party leader, as you said. He should step down because by him staying as leader, in my opinion, from what he's been called out for, he's he's tartaning the reputation of his party. So yeah, that's my opinion on
Right.
things.
It's dangerous. It sets a horrible precedent, and
Yeah.
in my opinion, it just cannot be tolerated in our current standing political system. It's dangerous to the foundations that we are built off of,
Yeah.
or
So
built on.
yeah, yeah, true. So I'm gonna move on from this scandal thing now, and we're gonna move on to the reinstating of the 13 colonies in the United States. Do you agree with this? Modern day colonialism.
Absolutely. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm from Boston. I'm from Boston. I believe that I should be named the next ward of Boston. I believe it's only fair that they let me inherit the rights to peerage over my own city in real life. Obviously, I probably know more than every person in this United Kingdom combined on the city of Boston and the state of Massachusetts. In fact, I'm willing to put money down on that. And so I'm actually fully in support of this. This is wonderful, and I'm glad that I could finally go and reside in my home in Boston and still be a part of this United Kingdom, representing the people not only of our colonies and of Boston, but also of the United Kingdom in general. It's a wonderful win-win for all of us. I know my good friend Doug Domadome is down in Virginia right now, living the life on his plantation, his farming plantation. I know that Mr. Joe Hashish is in Ireland right now, in the state of Texas. God bless him. I heard it's hot there right now too, as well. So that's probably not as fun as it could be, but that's okay. That's who cares. And we have a couple other friends, just hanging out. We have the Lord Lieutenant of Pennsylvania, Drac. God bless him. The Lord Lieutenant of Georgia, JBM. He's doing wonderful things down in the Peach State. I heard that he was at a club in Atlanta that is catered to men on men action. So God bless him. And then we just have a couple other people. The TBU I heard is the Lord Lieutenant of New York. Obviously, the Yankees are the worst baseball team on the planet. They should completely deform and be destroyed. They should be like Forward UK and just bite the bullet and go.
And get a
The
nuke
Yankees are
dropped on
terrible.
them.
What's up?
Get a nuke dropped on them.
Yes, exactly. The Yankees are a dangerous team. They're more dangerous than Ford. But I heard TVU's living the life down in the Big Apple. So this has been completely well received by the United Kingdom, and we are in full support of this. Just a wonderful, wonderful thing for us in general.
Lovely jubbly. And it appears we have a little elf on the shelf behind me now. Just sitting there.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Probably getting
He's
a
chilling.
burnt bottom from the hot
He's got
lamp.
large ears. He probably heard us talking about him when we said forward import.
I know, right? Yeah, he's probably getting his bum burnt right now, sitting on that hot lamp. But yeah, I won't edit this out. Yeah, okay, yeah, don't edit it out.
Why would we edit this out? This is awesome.
I know, right? Yeah, I know, right? It's funny. Got ourselves a little elf on the shelf. But anyway, it'd be quite exciting to see what happens with these colonies and see how we can somehow develop them in a way. Because as far as I was concerned, I don't think did anyone know this was coming? Because I don't think anyone did really. Did you see this coming?
Did I see what coming? This
The
giveaway of
the colonial.
So, in full truth, no. But it was a welcome surprise. Obviously, the statement goes, "It's always dark before dawn," and so the darkness was obviously the incident with Forward UK. A lot of evil corruption going on there, and the dawn was the reintegration of the 13 colonies plus Texas into the Union that we so beloved, that is absolutely beloved by us, that we so love. And I think it was just a wonderful surprise to be able to return home to my great humble abode in Boston, Massachusetts, and be able to say that I'm living in a British territory. It's truly beautiful. Honestly, it makes my eyes water. It really does make my eyes water.
Lovely jubbly.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
That's all. Yeah, beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I just live in Sussex. That's where I live. I just live in Sussex. I do. So it's pretty nice in Sussex. Totally not the dirtiest county in the United Kingdom, but it's nice in Sussex. It is.
Well, I heard that the Lord Lieutenant of New York, TBU, can probably sympathize you with living in the dirtiest rat-infested place in the United States in the 13 colonies. That would be New York City, of course, the worst place on the planet. To all of the British viewers here, if you're looking to come on vacation to the 13 colonies that we now have, I would strongly advise steering as far away from New York as you can. That place is a complete disaster, complete travesty to man. I mean, that city is a plague on this planet, and I believe that TBU is probably not living his best life right now, trying to monitor that like Eric Adams, the mayor.
We've literally got an elf on the shelf. Look, it's a small little man.
He's chilling.
Man. Pad on the table. And I'm just gonna.
So I want to give a quick shout out to my boys. Aaron BVLix, this one's for you. Aaron BVLix, Assistant Commissioner of the London Fire Brigade. Shout out to you. Shout out to current Home Secretary Alexander Arden. Shout out to you, Mr. Ethan. I'm assuming your name is Ethan based off of your Discord handle. But shout out to you. Dennis XXXX122. Shout out to you. Asking a question. Are we talking about crime? Yes, we are. Thank you for asking. Anyone else? Oh, another shout out. We needed one more shout out. Baron Frederick Shaw. Shout out to you. You are a wonderful man. You are the peace to my heart that makes me whole. And thank you for doing everything you do. God bless you, Baron. Clearly the pirate party. Vote for us in this election, and you will see actual change. And as all the other parties do, steal our policies, you will see something great happen if we were to be elected. Thank you all for letting me on this podcast. It's been a wonderful time. I've enjoyed it a lot.
No problemo. Thanks for coming on, Boston.
God bless.